You know, I just realized you probably don't care that much about special effects and you just want me to tell you what the weather is going to be like coming up. Fair enough.
Storm Team meteorologist Sam Kantrow with us now on, boy, what a difference from Sunday into this week. We're easing into a nice warm pattern.
I'll tell you, my son was waiting for the bus and he knocked on the window and said, hey, there's one little patch of snow still left, but it's not going to be here at the end of the day. That we can guarantee. Big old temperature changes and in the positive department, which is nice to hear. We've got highs that will make it up close to 70 degrees by the end of the week. We're not there today, but still things are looking pretty good. This is a live picture outside in the Elm City. The problem is there are some clouds that are starting to come in. So gradually heading through the afternoon, we'll see a little bit less and a little bit less sunshine. So filtered sun as we round out the day. That's with a little bit of rain that comes in tonight. Not a big deal. And most of it happens during the overnight or the late evening hours. So of no major consequence to us, which is great news. All right, temps in the 50s and even warmer than 60 in spots. Danbury is 60 degrees. Stanford's temperature also at 60 degrees. We get all the way down the shoreline with temperatures that are at least 50 compared to the average afternoon high temperature. That's pretty good. 59 in Meriden, and the temperature in Windsor Locks at Bradley International Airport is 54 degrees, and there's not a lot of wind either. Now the wind today coming from a milder wind direction, coming right out of the south, which means the temperatures here along the shoreline may start to cool off by a couple degrees once we get to around 1 or 2 p.m. There's not a lot of wind, but just enough that you might start to notice a difference as we get closer towards, say, 4 or 5 o'clock. But still close to 60 this afternoon, not so bad there. And when we talk shoreline temperature, in the instance of today, we're talking about just a little bit away from the beach, from the immediate shoreline. Most spots right at the beach will be in the 50s. The average afternoon high temperature, though, is 47. And while we won't break any records, we're kind of close for some spots along the shoreline, which makes sense, right? Spring is right around the corner. It's here in the 8-day forecast on Sunday at 11:33 a.m., St. Patrick's Day on Thursday, and the unluck of the Irish, we'll call it, because we've got some rain that's coming in for Thursday. Not going to pour, but just something you'll have to contend with. And then Easter shows up 33 days away from now. That's when we typically say that's it for the potential for any wintry weather, which, by the way, we're not seeing any of in the 8-day forecast. All right, here are the showers that show up here in northern Connecticut. I'll get out of the way so you can see in and around New London County. By around 2 o'clock in the morning or so, it is gone, and we'll clear the skies up as we start out your day tomorrow, and that'll set us up for another decent day. So low 60s across the state for today. Temperatures tonight are going to stay in the 30s and low 40s. Couple spots this morning, by the way, drop down below freezing. We probably will not in those areas tonight thanks to the cloud cover that's out there. Good day. High temp about 55 for tomorrow. Some rain on St. Patrick's Day late in the day, and then scattered rain on Saturday, which is also when the Hartford St. Patrick's Day parade is supposed to step off. So we'll have to see what happens there because it was postponed last week because of bad weather. And then again on Saturday with not such great weather. Look at the Friday afternoon high temperature, Lisa, 60 to near 70 degrees. Someone's going to hit 70 on Friday afternoon.
A lot of people saying this is the worst they've seen in many years. What's your opinion? You've been here for a long time. What are you seeing?
I think so, Gil. I mean, obviously, it's not bad compared to Sandy or Irene. And some of the pictures of some of the flooding that we're starting to get in from people that are here in East Haven are not as bad as it may have been during those storms. But I mean, the scene speaks for itself. There are cars trying to get through the water here on Hemingway Avenue. Frankly, the road probably should be shut down. We have a vehicle that's just in front of us where Mike is shooting that broke down already. That's the first one that we've seen, but you can see how much water is shooting up over the tops of these cars. Now, it's important to keep in mind, high tide here was like 10:30 this morning, so we're 90 minutes after high tide. Not only have we not seen it getting better, we've actually started to see it getting worse over the course of the last 45 minutes or 1 hour. This will eventually start to go down, but people that live around here that tend to prepare for these ones were even a little bit more nervous than normal.
Last night it didn't flood, so we weren't that worried when we were going to bed that the marsh wasn't quite that full, but the wind had been blowing out of the east and northeast for so long that we knew that there was going to be a situation today that it just couldn't be avoided.
He mentioned that that happened a lot faster than it tends to in a lot of these storms, and based on his opinion, and he's been living here for about 9 years, he said that it's likely been within the top 2 or 3 tidal flooding events that he's seen, with the exception, of course, of Sandy and Irene over the course of the last decade. So that speaks for itself. Whatever is out here will freeze up tonight if it doesn't go away, which hopefully it will. And so just make sure that if you do see flooded roads that you try and avoid them and drive around them and never go through barricades as well. I know it seems like a no-brainer, but obviously it is a major safety hazard. All right, this is what things look like here in East Haven. Things will start to improve through the next couple of hours as we get closer towards low tide, thankfully, but then we've got that freeze that comes back for 2
According to the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration, about 5,000 motorcyclists lose their lives in accidents each year in the U.S. So how can we avoid becoming a statistic?
All right, let me start by asking you this. Have you ever been in an accident before? And in your opinion, was that accident actually your fault? Yeah, I didn't think so. So with that notion, it's important to realize that when you're a rider, there are some things that you're legally required to wear and some things that are just plain common sense. Technically, what I'm wearing right now is perfectly legal to be riding in the state of Connecticut. All you actually need is some eye protection. But let's be realistic. This is what you really should be wearing.
First thing is the helmet. It's not a legal requirement for most riders, but get one anyway, and one that's got this DOT sticker on the back. Always wear a jacket. A padded jacket is ideal. Sturdy pants and boots are also a good idea. If your shoes have laces, make sure you tuck them in or tape them up, and make sure you glove up. Okay, so we're ready to ride. As a rider, always assume that the cars around you don't see you. Don't ride in the blind spot of other vehicles. Pump the brakes as you slow down, and always think, what if, when riding around on the roads. As a driver, put the phone down, focus on driving, and always check your blind spots. Don't forget, some bikes take longer to stop than cars, so keep a 4-second following distance. Happy riding. I'm meteorologist Sam Kantrow, News 8.